This museum was officially launched on 13th December 2017. Recently we had a new product of the trenches and bunkers which came in as part of this museum, and it is now open to the public for people to visit.
On 28th of December 1993, RPF sent their politicians, protected by the 600 soldiers, and arriving in Kigali, they were hosted in this parliamentary building, former CND.
Upon their arrival, they dug in and had these trenches and bunkers until 7th of April 1994, when they were ordered to break out from their initial positions to defend themselves and rescue victims of genocide in their vicinity. And of recently, the museum decided to bring back these trenches and bunkers of how these companies were deployed, the companies of the 600 Battalion. And these bunkers are divided in the way companies were deployed.
When 600 soldiers were deployed around this building, the first company was Tiger Company. Here we are in the deployment of Tiger Company. When the genocide started in the country in 1994, Tiger Company received the order to break out to contain the attacking forces from Kachir, which was the gendarmerie. And this was the arc of fire of Tiger Company.
We decided to at least make examples of each company, just 3 bunkers to represent the other bunkers as they were, and the commander's trench or bunker where he stayed during his command. They are always in different types. They can be Y, they can be L, they can be Z, but these bunkers that are here that were used by the 3rd Battalion are in L shape or form of L, whereby you enter and you have another part inside, and this could be used either by the soldiers as they were fighting, or at times when they needed short rest, they would also use these bunkers.
The 600 soldiers were deployed in 2 types of trenches. One was a communication trench, which facilitated sharing information, but also when they need like support materials, they could use the communication trench. This trench starts from here, from the first company, Tiger, to the last one. It needs to connect the whole companies. So this was the trench of Tiger Company Commander, still in form of L trench.
I would say these products will keep on coming because the museum is not yet done. We still bring into existence some other new products in a way of developing the museum. Even when this idea of coming up with the museum started in 2006, they only thought of monuments that would represent this history. One is the main monument that shows the resilience, the protection, and the vision of the Chairman RP High Command General Paul Kagame at the time, and another one of the 12.7mm machine gun mounted on the roof of this building, and then another one of a soldier honoring the rest of the other soldiers who died during the campaign to stop genocide, the RPF forces. After coming up with this and museum launched on 13th December 2017, there was also an idea as His Excellency was moving around here, he suggested that there should be these trenches and bunkers of the 600 soldiers showing to the people how they were deployed and how they used it to do the protection of the politicians when they were here. So that's how the idea came in. So they had to replicate them and put them where they're supposed to be, and that's how we came up with the idea. But as I said, museums always come up with temporary exhibitions or permanent exhibitions, so we will also be thinking of other ways through which we will continue to have other products as we did to this one.
Tiger Company connected with Chui Company. This area was the deployment of Chui. On my right hand, we have 3 trenches of Chui Company, and on my left hand, this is the trench of Chui Company commander. But at the time when the order to stop the genocide was given, and the 3rd Battalion was ordered to break out, Chui Company was here in reserve, and Headquarter Company was in deployments of Chui Company. It was immediately ordered to break out and deployed around Kigali Heights Convention Center down to Rugando, containing the attacking, heavy, strong attacking forces coming from Kanjepe, the Presidential Guard.
I think initially the main objectives of the museum are not part to these bunkers. It still conveys the same message. The museum came in as there was a gap whereby people would be able to visit the memorial sites, see how genocide was prepared and executed, and then they would miss this part of the campaign against genocide and how genocide was stopped by the RPF at the time. The museum tells us the whole story of how hard it was to stop genocide, and gives people the true picture of how this country was almost in ashes and later resurrected by the efforts of the Rwandans. So the youth would learn from here that it should never happen again or never again to them.
This was the deployment of Simba Company. We have 3 trenches representing the other trenches of Simba Company. And this was the route taken by Simba Company to contain the attackers from military police, and that was Kakami, and the controlled area was the area of Nyarutarama to Kibagabaga area. So this was the arc of fire of Simba Company.
1st of October is dedicated to patriotism, the values that were the RPF forces and RPF politicians had at the time of patriotism, of self-sacrifice to the extent of knowing that you would even lose your life, but you stop genocide and then you build the nation. So this part of the bunkers and the trenches will also convey the same message in terms of patriotism and loving the nation.
Last company was Eagle Company. Eagle Company was the first company to break out from its position. Eagle Company has 2 objectives. One is to rescue the 5,000 Tutsis already abandoned by the UN in the stadium, and this was the arc of fire toward the stadium, and blocking also the road coming from the Kanombe barracks, Kankanombe, because the paracommanders were heavily attacking this parliamentary building. This was the arc of fire of this company, Eagle. In implementing the Arusha Peace Agreement, UN deployed their UN peacekeepers to facilitate the Arusha Peace Agreement implementation. And this was the trenches of the UN peacekeepers, and were supposed to control this road, the main road, because it was a critical road. So this was a Chui breakout. So it was supposed to break out to contain Kanjepe, the presidential guard from Kanjepe at Kimihurura. So this was the arc of fire toward Kimihurura, heading down to Rugando.
It's really important to make a call for Rwandans to come and visit their history, learn from the museums. And it's the biggest number we have, the Rwandans, compared to the internationals. especially the youth from schools, the ones that frequent here at the museum, but still a call is needed for these people to come up in large numbers and learn this very rich history that is here.